Okay, good morning. Again, I'm Johnny Bryant with ASL Electric. We provide high quality electric and plumbing contracting services in Orange County. Our customers are general contractors, designers, property managers, homeowners. We have two basic structures in our company. We have a project division where we do remodeling, and we have a service division where we support Google, Home Depot, Pro, Yelp, those kinds of things. And so today I thought, as I was putting this thing together, I thought it'd be fun with a lot of new members to kind of do a little bit of retro. And then a couple of weeks ago, you all had asked me to kind of focus this presentation on fire prevention and electrical panels and those kinds of things. And so that's where we'll go. So I'm starting out with our old logo there on the top right. And I want to start by, in the season of thanks, by saying thank you to BTN. I bought this company about 5 years ago. I've never done any networking before. I was a corporate dude. And I just started showing up to the meetings with Stefan, scared to death. Didn't get any business for about a year. It was crazy. And now BTN is one of our largest customers. So we want to say thank you to that. We've since updated our logo. That's the one in the lower left there. But just out of the spirit of history, I'll kind of take it back to our old logo. There we go. All right. So it's a little icebreaker here. I'm going to throw this at you. If anybody wants to have a coffee break, I'll tell you the answer. But I'm one of these three things. I was homeless at 17. I was a top secret spy, or my parents were pro wrestlers. At least one of those is true. So let's have a coffee break, and I'll share with you which one of those is true.
I think due to the Mercy House work, I think it's the first one.
It's possible.
The connection is there.
It's possible,
right?
At least one of those.
I can see him in a chokeout. I think there's a pro wrestling thing in the background.
So this is a little quick picture of my family. I'll just say that most everything I do, husband and a son, my father in heaven. So if I'm at my best, they're all happy. So today the presentation agenda is going to be a little bit about why we want to take a look at older main electrical. So here's a quick recap of who we are. We're veteran owned. We mainly serve Orange County and surrounding areas. We do both residential and commercial. Sharon said something earlier, talk about quality and integrity. When I first started this company, I just know what kind of person I am. And many of you have heard me talk about, I love the handshake deal. I'm going to honor it for a lifetime anyways. Why not market it? So we give a lifetime warranty on all of our craftsmanship. If I do work for Steve 6 years ago and Steve calls me, hey, this wire came loose, I'm not going to charge you. So lifetime warranty. We're here just to help people. We're great partners. Hopefully most of you know that. We built our business centered around general contractors and designers. And when I started here about 5 years ago, we had 4 electricians in 1 van. And the model was get more service vans on the road so that when Raphael calls and says, I've got an inspection on Tuesday morning, can you get me someone there? I can throttle down Google, I can throttle down Yelp, and I can say, yeah, I'll be there at 10 o'clock Tuesday morning, which we're going to be today. And so we now have 6 vans on the road, and we got project crews doing remodeling. This is just an example of some of the work we do. We generally people are spending money in the higher end homes. So generally we're doing high-end residential remodeling, a lot of cool lighting stuff going on. We've not so much this year, but last year we did over $4 million, not in revenue, in hanging of high-end chandeliers. We just got this niche, and people started calling us on the coastal communities. So we have a really cool high ladders. Our guys know what they're doing. We're doing one-of-a-kind stuff, artists out of Italy. It's really cool. So not so much this year, though. I don't know why. Just an example of some of the stuff we do to, make a home a show place. It's a nice home in Corona del Mar we did that was on the tour of homes. So that was just kind of a general overview of who we are and what we do. So as requested, I wanted to go over a little bit about fire safety. And most of you in the trades probably know this, but just a quick lesson. An electrical panel exists and a breaker exists to identify something that's wrong. And when it finds that something that's wrong, what does the breaker do?
Turns off.
It stops the power. So whatever is wrong, it alerts you, hey, something's wrong, right? If your breaker is bad, or your panel is old, or it's one that's obsolete, and there's a problem in the wall, and the panel doesn't recognize it, what happens? fire. The problem continues, right? And so that's why it's so important to make sure that we have good, reliable electrical panels. Here's an example that kind of ties the helpful thing together. This is almost a year ago, but it's a good lead in. It's probably 10 o'clock at night. I'm catching up on emails, working on the schedule, and a guy reaches out to us through Yelp. He's got a newborn in his hand, in his arm, and he smells fire in his bathroom. Or smells that electrical fire sound. So I just was kind of going back and forth with him on Yelp, and in less than an hour, I had a guy out there to take care of him, and it was a handyman special. You know, there was a buried J box in the bathroom. It was burning and smoldering. He couldn't see it, and so we got up there and we got the guy taken care of. So here's just some data for you. Electrical malfunctions are the second leading cause of fire in residential applications, and it's the highest share of civilian death and property damage. Let that marinate for a second. And it's just like so many things in life, you never expect it's going to happen to you. It's always someone else. And I'm not, whoever said don't sell, y'all know I'm not a salesman, and I ain't trying to sell. I'm just telling you, this is important stuff. And if you care about yourself or your friends, this is real stuff. And roughly 60% of those fires, this is according to the National Fire Safety Board, roughly 60% of them are from arcing, right? A short, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, you know, whatever that arcing is. And that's what the breaker detects, right? You just need to make sure you got a good breaker. These are some pictures that I just pulled from our technicians' notes over the years. These are all Orange County. This is what we see almost every day, maybe not every day, but almost every day. And these are things where the breaker either did catch it, maybe late, didn't catch it, aluminum wire. This is a good plan. Let's put some electrical right by a water supply.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things when we started, I guess, going down this road of trying to help people prevent fires, we created an electrical inspection. It's kind of like a home inspection that most of you are accustomed to with, you know, new properties and those kinds of things. But we just kind of go in and we dive and we check GFI, smoke detectors, panel, breakers, bus bar, all those kinds of things. We give you a nice report that says, hey, you're either good or you're not. We charge $249 for those. One of the things, I guess you realtors probably can back me up on this. Other realtors that we work for, this is basically what they do when they sell a house. And one of the best values any electrician can give, not just us, is when there's either a remodel or a transaction, changing out outlets and switches. You know, the device itself is relatively inexpensive, right? You get a qualified licensed electrician going in and most all the electrical connections in your whole house. So it's almost like a built-in, and it's $29 a pop. And then when it's over, you've got a very nice device with a nice clean white plate, and it just looks great. So that's something we do it's a service. I mean, it's a revenue stream for us, obviously, but it's a very economical way to elevate the beauty of your home and essentially have somebody go through and check all the connections in your house. Great referrals to us are property managers, real estate investors, people care about. I cranked through this really fast because I wanted to offer you guys an opportunity to ask some questions. I do want to say in this time of thanks, thank you again to BTN. It's not just salesmanship. We literally have evolved our strategy this year and moving forward to focus on fewer customers, BTN being one of them, and not trying to say yes to everything. And so we are dedicated to serving BTN and you and your clients, and more than just electrical and plumbing. I've helped some of you in your businesses, and I've got a lot of nerdy academic experience. I'd love to help you out if you need it. And I look forward to continuing to work together with all you guys. So, sorry, it was really fast, but thank you. And that's all I have. Welcome to the Bryant side. I do have a new tagline. I'm trying to practice it. It's ASL Electric, where honeydew gets honey done. So that's more of our service side. We did. We are now, or not now. We're 5-star rated on Google. I think we have 159. It's actually 4.9 or whatever like that. And then on Yelp, we have 258 reviews with 5-star. And that's just the community saying these guys are good servants. You know, that's the way I look at it. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Any questions?
So for 249, what do you actually get? Do you go through and like retighten, check all the breakers, the lugs on the breakers?
Yeah,
What do you-
they don't retighten and torque every lug on every
Okay.
breaker, but they'll inspect the panel, they'll clean it out. There's always cobwebs and stuff, and they'll jiggle and make sure everything's tight. You know, the panel inspection really, there's probably two main things, is the age and type. You know, is it more than 30 years old, and is it a Zensco FPV style block, those kind of things. And the other thing would be if there are mixed breakers, you know, that's another kind of cue that there's probably something up. You know, I'd say like your brakes, you know, your brakes squeak, your brakes squeak, your brakes squeak, and after a month of letting your brakes squeak, you're like, I better get some brakes, right? If you know a breaker keeps tripping, don't just go reset it. Don't just go, you know, maybe once, maybe something happened. But if it keeps tripping, there's something going on. You know, take a deeper dive. So panel, we check all the GFCIs, we check all the smokes, we inspect to see if there's any evidence of heat or char inside some boxes, to check for aluminum wiring. It's a whole checklist. I don't even know all of it off the top of my head. And then we provide a nice report.
Two questions. One, changing of the receptacles or the outlets. Is that mainly the purpose of it is for aesthetics, or is there also some safety feature of that as well?
It's a great question. So it starts out as aesthetics, right? And we're in hundreds of homes every month or whatever. And some people who are smart, people like Joe, not smart, but designers or homeowners who care, just have their walls painted by Aaron, and now they've got these dingy 30-year-old. So it starts out as aesthetic, but as we learn all this and we go in and out of this every day, it's something that I kind of started to elevate the pitch of it. From my perspective as a consumer, yeah, I'm getting a new device for $29, but I also had, you know, a trained qualified electrician checking that connection. So you saw the pictures. You know, what if you see that before it starts to smolder? So it's absolutely both. And I think that's why it's among the most economical, safe things you can do to improve a home. In fact, I'm a real estate investor. I buy homes. I just bought 2 homes in the last 3 months. Yeah, guess what was the first thing I did? I hired an electrician. I want every device in the house changed. Relatively economical, and I had an electrician see almost every connection in that home.
One more question. Do you deal with electrical, for example, their pool or spa equipment? The panel has an error for some kind of electrical wiring issue. Do you handle that, or would that be like a spa contract?
It's probably a little of both. So you get into troubleshooting there in terms of the system and the programming and error messages. Probably not. If there's a power issue, we can check and make sure it's clean power coming, clean power going, those kinds of things. I do have a guy on my team that worked as an electrician for a pool company for a really long time. So it's kind of neat that when we get those calls, we're able to mobilize him to help people.
Okay.
So,
Another question.
C10, so then, low voltage, like Cat 6 running wire, the each putting like Cat 6 cable connected to the wire or wiring.
Yeah, we do low volt LED lighting, we do Cat 6, HDMI, and mostly residential applications on that. It's, you know, people call and say, hey, I want my office hardwired, or these 3 rooms hardwired with Cat 6. We'll do that stuff. Haven't done a lot of commercial. I know you and I are going to talk about something like that today.
Sure.
Johnny, houses around here that were built in the 60s, obviously their panels are really old, have to be looked at. If you put a new panel in there, how long is that before you got to come back and check that out again?
So panels, the life cycle are usually 25 to 35 years. It'd be like brakes, right? Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, on, off, and that varies depending on the use of the home. But 25 to 35 years would be a normal life expectancy of a panel.
Thanks.
I'm just kind of curious, the $29 for receptacle, does that cover GFCIs?
No, dimmers, GFCIs should be a little more because those devices cost. us.
I was wondering.
Yeah, they cost more than that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, who we got?
Johnny,
Yes, sir.
Johnny, I don't know if this is if you offer this service, but if not, maybe you want to consider, but do you guys do any AV work, like hooking up smart TVs or smart homes? Because there's a lot of money in that.
Yeah, we don't right now, Rick. In fact, we stopped hanging TVs for the most part. We do it now as a favor, like if Pierre called or Sharon called and said, hey, can you help me? We would do it. But to do that on the open market, to try and, you know, compete with, you know, the Geek Squad that does it for $40 a pop, or, you know, and
Oh, okay.
just, I mean, it's 2 guys handling inch TVs, and it's really not our sweet spot, to be honest with you. So we just kind of let others do that, but we can do it. And if anybody needs help doing it, we do a lot of AV, like the outlets that are recessed, the zippers that, hide the stuff behind the walls. We do that kind of stuff, but generally other people will install the actual TV and mount.
Just curious. Thank you. Thank you.
Are you getting a lot of people calling about Christmas lights and this and that right now, or?
Yeah, not so much. It'll start probably after Thanksgiving, and we actually turn those down. So if anybody knows an electrical contractor or a painter, sometimes painters do it, that does good work on Christmas lights, we just don't do it. It's a kind of the same thing. It's not really our sweet spot. I'm not really fired up about having my guys on ladders, corners of houses. It's just not our sweet spot. So we focus on what we're really good at.
But you would do it for me, yeah.
I would do it.
Oh, if you do it down, you have to do it for me too.
I'll say, there's a lot, and Kevin mentioned some things this morning. There's a lot of stuff going on from a compliance standpoint. We see it on the plumbing side, and it's coming, so be ready. There are insurers now that will not renew your insurance if you don't have a smart water device on your home. You think about an insurance claim for a leak in the wall, slab leak, those are tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars claim, right? We put on these smart water devices that learns it already knows the flow of a toilet and a shower and those kinds of things, but it learns the usage of your home. If something falls outside of that, like a small leak, small drip, it alerts it, it'll cut off the water to your home. The insurance companies are really cracking down in California right now. This is less than a month old right now on electrical panels for all the reasons I've mentioned, right? Just take a drive through Long Beach, through Huntington Beach, all those really old cinder block apartments that have been juiced up a little bit, but were built in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And these landlords and property managers haven't updated the electrical panels. They're getting notices of non-renewal right now, being given 3 to 6 months to correct, which is almost impossible for those kind of switchgears right now. So if you know anyone who owns an older apartment building, apartment community, something like that, it's coming. We've been not quite inundated over the last week of people saying, "Oh shoot." So it's coming.
So it's apartment buildings, or is that?
What we've seen is apartment buildings. So these, 4 to 12 unit apartments, there's a lot of them, right? And they're just getting notices of non-renewal. And they're in a pickle. Some of their switch gears are 6-8 months out. And the insurance company is giving them 3 to 6 months. Insurance now has actually developed okay, we'll renew you for a year. Everybody's trying to navigate this thing, but it's coming. Very interesting.
Okay.
Thank you all again.